What just happened in the NFL world has the potential to shake the foundation of the NFC East, and maybe the entire league as we know it. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly made the boldest, loudest, and most ruthless move in recent memory by snatching superstar running back Saquon Barkley away from the Philadelphia Eagles, a direct divisional rival in what is being described across the league as an earth-shaking, franchise-altering deal. Let's be clear, this isn't your usual mid-season trade for depth or a quiet free agency pickup to round out the roster. This is a full-blown ambush, a declaration of war. This is the Dallas Cowboys looking over at their most hated rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, and saying, "We're taking your best weapon, and there's nothing you can do to stop us." The implications of this move go far beyond jersey sales or locker room hype. This changes the entire dynamic of the NFC East. For years now, Barkley has been the kind of player defenses plan around. Whether he was with the Giants or the Eagles, he's commanded respect as an every down back who can beat you in the trenches, on the outside, in the screen game, or even in pass protection. His rare combination of size, speed, agility, and vision has made him one of the most electric players in the league when healthy. And after a career year last season in Philadelphia where he posted jaw-dropping numbers and looked healthier and more explosive than ever, his stock was at an all-time high. Many believed the Eagles had locked him in as the centerpiece of their offense for years to come after handing him a lucrative deal that made him the highest-paid back per year in the NFL. So how in the world did Dallas pull this off? That's the question everyone is asking. Rumors had floated for months that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office had been quietly exploring splash moves behind the scenes, frustrated with early playoff exits and a lack of deep postseason success. Barkley was never seriously linked to Dallas in the offseason. In fact, when Barkley hit the free agency market, he said himself that the Cowboys never even called. At the time, it looked like a missed opportunity. But what we didn't know was that Dallas had been waiting for the perfect storm cap space manipulation, contract friction in Philly, and a possible power struggle between Barkley and Eagles coaches over offensive usage. Once Dallas saw a crack in the armor, they pounced, reportedly offering a deal that included multiple high draft picks, young talent, and potential cap relief for Philadelphia in exchange for the star back. While all the details of the trade haven't been officially released as of this recording, sources close to the situation suggest it was one of the most aggressive offers the Cowboys have ever made for a single player. And the moment the news broke, it sent shockwaves across the league. NFL players, analysts, and fans alike couldn't believe it. The Cowboys, who have long been criticized for being too conservative in the trade market or failing to go all in when it matters, have suddenly flipped the script and executed the kind of bold, divisional backstab that would make even Bill Belichick raise an eyebrow. For Cowboys fans, this is the kind of power move they've been waiting for, something that signals not just a willingness to win, but an obsession with dethroning the Eagles and retaking the NFC East. Imagine the reaction in that Dallas locker room when they learned they were getting Saquon Barkley. Imagine the energy in practice when Barkley lines up behind Dak Prescott, ready to unleash hell on opposing defenses. And then imagine the moment he walks onto the field in a Cowboys uniform for the first time at a TNT stadium, under the lights, with fans roaring and NFC East opponents watching in disbelief. From a football standpoint, the fit makes almost too much sense. The Cowboys have struggled in recent seasons to find consistency in the run game. Ezekiel Elliott's production declined before his departure, and while Tony Pollard has shown flashes, the Cowboys lacked a truly dominant, game-changing back. Barkley fills that void and then some. He's not just a between-the-tackles runner, he's a home run hitter, a mismatch nightmare, and a safety valve in the passing game who forces defenses to stay honest. With Barkley in the backfield, play action becomes deadly. Third and long situations become manageable. And perhaps most importantly, late-game leads become easier to protect, as Barkley can grind out tough yards and keep the clock moving. But it's not just about what Barkley brings to Dallas, it's about what he takes away from Philadelphia. The Eagles didn't just lose a player. They lost their spark plug, their tone setter, their edge. Barkley was more than a statistical leader, he was a culture changer. His work ethic, his locker room presence, his ability to flip the field with a single cut, all of that now belongs to Dallas. And that leaves Philly scrambling for answers. They'll have to find a way to retool their offense, potentially relying more on Jalen Hurts' legs or hoping their wide receiver core can carry the load. But there's no sugarcoating it. This is a massive blow. Losing a player like Barkley to a rival isn't just a personnel issue, it's a psychological one. It sends a message to your locker room, your coaching staff, and your fan base that the power balance is shifting. And you better believe Cowboys fans are already talking Super Bowl. Because make no mistake, this isn't just a splash, it's a tsunami. It's a sign that Jerry Jones and company are done playing it safe. They want a ring. Now. And they're willing to take risks to get it. Of course, with great risk comes potential consequences. Barkley has had injuries in the past, and if his body breaks down again, the Cowboys could be left with a bloated contract and fewer picks in the draft. But that's the gamble of going all in. That's what separates championship franchises from cautious contenders. Sometimes you have to throw the dice and bet on greatness. And if Barkley stays healthy, he instantly becomes one of the most dangerous weapons in the league, especially with the talent around him in Dallas. And don't forget the narrative juice this brings to the NFL season. Every Cowboys-Eagles game is now must-watch television. The drama, the revenge factor, the sheer emotion of Barkley facing his old team, it's the kind of storyline you dream of as a content creator, as a fan, as a sports writer. The media will eat it up. Opposing coaches will stress over it. Defensive coordinators will lose sleep game planning for Barkley. And somewhere in a film room in Philadelphia, a group of coaches are quietly asking themselves how they let this happen. How they let their star running back, the guy they paid, the guy they built around, walk out the door and straight into the arms of the enemy. For Barkley, this could be the defining chapter of his career. He's already been a phenom, a Pro Bowler, a top fantasy pick. But now, in Dallas, under the biggest spotlight in football, he has a chance to become a legend. If he helps this team win big, if he helps bring a Lombardi trophy back to Dallas, he won't just be remembered as a great running back. He'll be remembered as the guy who turned the tide, who swung the pendulum of power back in favor of the star. So where does that leave us right now? It leaves us on the edge of our seats, waiting for the official press conferences, watching for roster moves, anticipating the first glimpse of Barkley in Cowboys blue, and knowing deep down that what we just witnessed wasn't just a trade, it was a statement. The Cowboys are coming, and they just stole the Eagles' crown jewel to do it. So buckle up, because this season is about to get wild. And if you thought the NFC East was intense before, well, you ain't seen nothing yet.